as a platform to raise awareness on the problems facing our environment, such as air pollution, plastic pollution, illegal wildlife trade, sustainable consumption, sea level increase, and food security, among others. Furthermore, WED helps drive change in consumption patterns and in national and international environmental policy. UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration is 2021 to 2030. The UN General Assembly has proclaimed the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration following a proposal and resolution for action by over 70 countries from all latitudes. It is a rallying call for the protection and revival of ecosystems all around the world for the benefit of people and nature. It aims to halt the degradation of ecosystems and restore them to achieve global goals. Only with healthy ecosystems can we enhance people's livelihoods, climate change, and diversity. Every World Environment Day is hosted by a different country in which official celebrations take place, and this year's the host is Pakistan. And the theme for World Environment Day is ecosystem restoration. Now we have an online member from USA, Miss Katherine. She is from LLC Hong Kong Environment Control Technology Department. She is a representative of Global Miss Anessa Ataya, Director, SCARET Limited. SCARET is responsible for bringing Climate Global Control LLC to Pakistan to showcase our climate technology for the World Environment Day 2021 and actively promote and accelerate CGC LLC, our climate services technology globally. Miss Katherine from USA. Miss Katherine, a very warm welcome on the behalf of Green Growth Pakistan and other members of World Environment Day. Miss Katherine, can you hear us?
Excellency Prime Minister, respectable guests of honor, diplomats, UNDP officials, and respectable participants from different walks of life. We are going to tell you about advanced technology to tackle current climate changes. Let me introduce you Alexander Kachurov. He is a specialist in distributed systems for collecting and processing information. Alexander is the creator of the controlled climate change technology. This technology has been successfully used in the Gulf countries for 15 years. Global climate change on our planet is a reality that we have to reckon with. There are only two possible reasons for this change. It could be natural processes occurring on Earth and in space, or human technological activity. We can't resist the first. We can only wait until the matter of cyclical changes will be reversed. It is also difficult to expect progress in the fight against the second factor. This factor can be eliminated only through a radical change in the entire technological structure of our civilization. The test is frankly impossible, especially since we're not sure that exactly human activity is the main cause of the ongoing climate change. Therefore, the primary task is creating conditions for the preservation of an environment favorable for both human life and agricultural activities in those regions and countries that are most affected by the ongoing climate change. In Russia was created technology that allows us to solve the problems in a complex. Let's see what other problems that would solve our technology. Increase the precipitation, fill natural and inland water bodies, regulate sewage and runoff processes, regulate the groundwater level, reduce the groundwater salinity, change the level of soil moisture, extinguish forest and peat fires, eliminate the factors generating dust storms, also factors which generate hurricanes, level of seasonal temperatures contrasts, and one more important point is overcome water scarcity that has actually become a global problem. So let's look more close what our technology look like. So it was developed to influence climatic processes without using traditional technical means. The technology is based on the understanding that the atmosphere is an integral system that always strives for balance. This equilibrium system is based on the climate state of each region. If the state is changed in one region and this change is maintained for a long time, then the entire system will perceive this new state as a part of itself and will inevitably rebuild. As a result of this restructuring, the changed climate in the region will be maintained by the system itself. The developed technology is focused on targeted climate change in the region and country, but they also allow solving particular problems. It is important to understand that the solution of the above tasks doesn't require the creation of special infrastructure in the region or use of expensive technical means. The only thing that is necessary is reliable meteorological observation in the room area with real-time data transmission, which is easy to organize using existing meteorological observation equipment. to ensure the required results, specially organized packets of electromagnetic waves of various frequencies are used. The technology doesn't pollute air, soil, or doesn't produce noise pollution, but helps to deliver atmospheric water for natural recovery or creating new ecosystems. All methodological and technical means necessary for carrying out these works have been created, tested, and confirmed within the framework of international activity during demonstrations held in agreement with the authorities in Iran and in Gulf countries over the past 15 years. And let's look close to those demonstrations. The first demonstration took place in June 2007. That was the period during the days when the following events are held in Tehran to mark the anniversary of Ayatollah Khomeini's death. And the results were that it rained several days before the event, and the temperature was reduced to average 25 degrees Celsius. And it was observed 100% of clouds. The research that was undertaken to explore the possibilities of transferring large quantities of water to areas of Iran that are suffering from drought for many years. They found it possible made it possible to increase the amount of precipitation by 100 to 600 of the climatic norm throughout Iran, and from 200 to 800 on 20-30% of the territory of this on the territory of Iran. So next experiment was held the same year in another place in Kerman, when the result was 36 millimeters of precipitation. That was actually a historical record for this place. Later, in November 2010 till March 2011, some experiments were undertaken in a remote region of Lake Urmian, and in there, an increase in precipitation in the dry season was 85%, and in excess of the annual climatic norm of precipitation was 250%. We can see some graphs that this data was took from website, the resource of National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, the resource of United States, and we can see the black line, which is the average amount for this region, and all the green bars, which is amount of precipitation that was during our experiments. Some experiments also were held in United Arab Emirates in 2015, when the result was double increase in precipitation compared to previous years. 32.3 millimeters. It's not much, but I should underline that it was a double increase. But after some research, this experiment was more successfully repeated later in 2019. So here is again red bars, which is the amount of precipitation during the experiments in comparison with blue bar that shows average precipitation for period 2003 up to 2014. So this experiment in the United Arab Emirates was in May 2019, when the level of precipitation increased in 3 to 8 times. In general, the amount of precipitation in the region increased by 200, from 200 up to 800%. The same success was reached as in Iran's territory. In the Emirates, it rained for 4 days, which was not noted in the entire history of the observations, and the temperature dropped by 9 degrees. One more experiment was in Uzbekistan in Iran, where also was good data. And one of the experiments actually was in Pakistan from May to July 2018, when we can observe additional precipitation from 2 millimeters to 50 millimeters on the 60% of the territory of Balochistan. So these are not even all examples, but you can see already how many unusual data records were mentioned during those demonstration works. But the experiments that were carried out have shown that the developed technology allows to transfer moisture from region to region. And this is the essence of all demonstration, but not only the rain that took place in the particular location. The rain is only evidence of the appearance of the additional moisture in the region. The main thing is that there is a possibility of creating permanent channels for the transfer of additional moisture. And this transfer should be continued until a new stable climate condition is formed. Now I would like to tell a few words about the policy. So we do not, the company that proposes this technology, do not require any prepayment, and we will deal with bank letters of credit that guarantee the rights of both parties and will be transferred to our account only after we bring positive results. The proof of our work will be based on results of the International Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, a federal agency within the structure of the United States Department of Commerce, the Weather Observatory, or by any other European natural country resource. As a conclusion, I would love again to mention that the main thing that should be taken away from the message is that the technology offered to your attention allows solving the problem of ensuring climatic security in a complex and inexpensive way, which is associated primarily with a shortage of water resources. It is also important to know that there are many proposals for local weather management. But here is a solution for the problem of climate control in the region, not the weather, but the climate is proposed. This proposal is one, there are no another. And the last thing, this work can be carried out in any region or country. Thank you for your attention. And if there are any questions, I'm ready to translate it to Alexander.
If you have any question, you can ask her. If you have any questions for Miss Katherine, you can ask her. She's waiting. No questions? Thank you, Miss Katherine. We are really honored you gave us our precious time. I think you woke up at midnight just for this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So this is all from USA. Now I would like to call upon a very precious personality we are having with us right now. A very good politician, a very good expert in food security, and